So we understand now you've been a vegan for 3 years. Last 18 months, you've been sort of contemplating events and thinking about, right, what am I going to do? And then I think you said, what was it, a year ago you actually started, I don't want
Right.
to say
It was,
in the intense training, but the
right.
training began.
Yeah.
So first of all, what we'll talk about, I guess, is the diet part of it, and then we'll look at the exercise part of it. So starting back a year ago, from just a regular vegan diet, if you could just describe what your regular vegan diet was, and then a year ago, did anything change?
Yeah. My regular vegan diet would have been mostly anything vegan. I'm always health conscious first, and
Hmm.
then aesthetics second.
Yeah.
So I never compromise with processed foods and things like that. But obviously, with the competition diet, and for the last year, it's been pretty strict. So whereas before training for this, I would do pretty basic, brown rice, a lot of no real portion sizes, I guess. Kind of looks the same as what I eat now,
Hmm.
but no portion or anything, no portioning and whatnot. So, and I
Okay.
certainly wouldn't have eaten like a vegan cupcake now as I would have then.
Right.
So,
Yeah. 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 Cool.
but lentils, lots of vegetables, always my Vitamix full of raw, everything I can fit in there. Um, with my pretty basic diet up until then.
Yeah. So, with regards to the diet, when you started a year ago, because I know in obviously various other bodybuilding, not so much vegan now, just general bodybuilding, they have different phases of their diet. When you
Right.
started a year ago, what was, I don't know, maybe sort of maybe the first 6 weeks or 12 week sort of goal from your diet? Was it just a transition, or was it fat loss? What was maybe the goal for the first period of it?
You know what? I don't do anything halfway.
Hmm.
If I have a goal, if I have something in my mind, I'm there like right now. There's no like, well, let's kind of work up to it. So
Sure.
once I started to really look at competing and I started studying, what I did was I would go on bodybuilding.com and take the competitor's diet. And then I would say, okay, well, they're eating chicken, so I'm going to put tofu in there.
Right.
They're, this is the portion. So I jumped right in. There was no like, uh, transition
Yeah.
really at all. It was just, okay, I'm not eating that anymore. I'm eating like this now. And that was it. And that started in June of last year. And so by October, um, is when I had dropped 10 pounds and 3% body fat, just all pretty much on my own.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I just jumped right in.
Okay. Cool. So from June to October, what's that? June, July, August, September, October. So sort of 4 months. Um, you literally just went on the bodybuilding.com, sort of veganized the what they were talking about,
Right.
if that's a word.
And I didn't know veganbodybuilding.com was out there at that time.
Sorry, the
I didn't know that vegan bodybuilding was out there at
yeah,
that time.
yeah,
So
okay,
bodybuilding.com was it for me, which
yeah,
I think a lot of people find it's really difficult to find trainers and coaches that, will go with the whole
yeah,
meal plan. So
absolutely. So sort of, and then what was it you said? You lost 10 pounds of weight and 3% body fat in that
I
first
did.
in that
Yeah. And
first
actually
sort of.
that was more like a 4 week period of time
Oh,
with that.
really? So
Yeah.
quite a
Yeah.
rapid drop there. That's pretty good. Um, so coming up to that October time, obviously now we're getting into. Well, I don't suppose it's too much of a winter for you guys. I think you're still quite warm through sort of October and January and
Yes.
February, aren't you? Yeah, so it's not too bad for you. I'm thinking of England, which is gets pretty cold
Well,
through that time. But so you've hit that sort of that October time. You've lost that weight. I mean, how much weight did you need to lose, or how much weight did you want to lose for that first initial period? Was there a weight you had in mind?
I think when I started, I was 124, which I know is super shocking, but I have a really small frame. So any amount of weight that I put on is noticeable. Um, I just, everything that I studied was I just got to get to my best like that. And, you know, you see, when you study the bikini, pros and whatnot, they're all around a certain range of weight.
Yeah.
And so I started at 20.5% body fat, 124. And I just knew I had to get that down to whatever it looked like for me so that you could see muscle definition. So
Right.
that
Okay.
was pretty much what my goal
Yeah.
was.
Was there a sort of a percentage number that you were aiming for? Look, obviously, you're at the point where you want to be hitting that now, but what is that body fat percentage, I guess, that you're aiming for?
For me, I won't go any lower than 15%, which sounds high, I guess, for a competitor. And 20.5% is pretty average and pretty good, but
Right.
at that time, I'm not really sure. I want to say I knew I had to get below 20% because that's where I was at currently. And I wasn't really sure at that time, but I knew, I don't know. I mean, some of those girls are 10, 12%. So
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but
Right.
I just went for it.
Okay, so we just started out and you just went for it, and within a period of time you lost, what was it, 10 pounds, and you lost 3% body fat, so you actually dropped to 17%.
Right.
Okay, great. So obviously then you had the rest of the time to lose it, but let's just backtrack. So we sort of built up with regards to diet all the way up to maybe sort of October and just beyond. Did your training, your physical training, differ in that initial period, or did you very much just focus on the diet side of things?